It doesn't happen very often anymore. But there are still some mornings in our house when Walker and Arthur are both awake and filled with wonder and peace, joyful, pleasant, calm. Right from the beginning, they're quiet and marveling at the sunlight shining through the windows, peaceful and cuddling on the couch with Amy and me as we sip our mugs of coffee and cups of milk together. It doesn't happen very often. But on one of those mornings recently, I was reminded of a poem by Mary Oliver. I do not know what gorgeous thing the bluebird keeps saying, his voice easing out of his throat, beak body into the pink air of the early morning. Like it, whatever it is. Sometimes it seems the only thing in the world that is without dark thoughts. Sometimes it seems the only thing in the world that is without questions that can't and probably never will be answered. The only thing that is entirely content with the pink, then clear white morning, and gratefully says so. I wish I could keep things so simple in my mind as the bluebird does. I wish I could keep hold of only positive thoughts, deep and abiding faith, strong and firmly grounded hope. But my experience is that every minute is filled with a discordant chorus of thoughts competing for attention. Some, very few some are constructive, and some, many are not. And I wonder if you also struggle to stay optimistic at all times, even when the world around you seems to be falling apart. Do you ever wish that your good deeds would find reciprocation? That an unbroken chain of goodwill might transform the world's conflict and iniquity into peace, liberty, justice for all. Contentment in a troubled world is difficult to hold on to. We want to grasp at security, seize control of what we think we deserve, establish power over others, hoard resources we cannot possibly hope to make the best use of. All of our reactive fear, our immature strivings, our practiced hostility only drive us further into disarray. Couldn't it be time that we try something else? Maybe it's time to listen to the prophets and their promise, even for those, rightfully or not, who feel they have no strength in numbers, in means, in might. Their promise is that God cares for us, all of us, and that we have a chance to be part of God's kingdom, to belong somewhere, to belong to someone, and to be able to appeal to the one who is above all. If we leave our iniquity behind, if we learn to do good. All we are asked to do is to give up what we cling to, our security, our control, our power, our resources, our fear, our strivings, our hostility, which will not budge. Because our thoughts, even if they start small, even if they begin with just an appeal to preserve something of ourselves, our thoughts ultimately take us to where we do not want to be. And our emotions drive us to where we do not want to dwell, and our interests, our traits, our instincts define us in ways we wish we could escape. Just a little bit of self-interest snowballs and takes control. Step by step, from the smallest measure of selfishness, we construct cages of our own hell as our house, rather than dwelling in heaven on earth. Observations by the likes of Anne Frank tell us what this hell looks like. Terrible things are happening outside. At any time of night and day, poor, helpless people are being dragged out of their homes. They're allowed to take only a knapsack, a little cash with them, and even then, they're robbed of these possessions on the way. Families are torn apart, men, women, and children separated. Children come home from school to find that their parents have disappeared. Women return from shopping to find their houses sealed, their families gone. We construct this hell time and again. Our neighbors and friends live in this hell. And it exists because of the world's callous and well-worn patterns of selfishness and greed, ruthlessness and deceit. Those patterns thrive because we refuse to let go of our false sense of security, control, and power, our fruitless pursuit of resources, our senseless fear and strivings. We're gripped by self-interest, and we cannot hope to be free from the hostility we feel toward a world filled with others. Hostility we feel toward its creator. Hostility we feel toward our deepest selves, the deepest selves longing for connection and compassion, forgiveness and acceptance. We cannot hope to be whole, cannot hope to be true to our deepest and truest selves until we let go of our own plans and give up our efforts at control. And would that be so hard? Or does it frighten you and me? And if it does frighten you, then perhaps Jesus is speaking directly to you when he declares, "Do not be afraid, little flock. It is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom." To give you an entire kingdom. To give to you. The Father does. You do not take it. You do not earn it, and you do not keep it from others. The Creator gives the kingdom to you. And what do? You sell your possessions. You give alms. That's all you do. You give up what you have. And you are given a kingdom. You make purses for yourselves that do not wear out. They are not made of leather, they are made out of love. They hold an unfailing treasure in heaven where no thief can come near, no moth destroy. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. All you have to do is sell your possessions and give alms. Give a bottle of water to an addict on the median. Give alms. Write letters to lawmakers to legislate plans and programs for the rightful healing of the sick. Give alms. Clothe and care for migrants struggling to get by in this world. Give alms. Purchase school supplies for children who lost their crayons because their families were evicted by landlords eager to raise rents. Give alms. Pay off lunch debts incurred by children in public schools because they can't afford to buy their own meals. And our neighbors have stopped providing food to them. Give alms. Deliver groceries to food pantries so that people on fixed incomes can manage to eat this month. Give alms. When you are starting out and just trying to figure out what to do to make the world a better place, give alms. When it's been a long week and you're drained and the people around you do not inspire you, and the powers and principalities of this world wage war and madness, give alms. When you are unsure that you're making any difference at all, or that anyone on this side of heaven sees your good deeds, much less would join you when you feel alone and caring for others and you are tired of trying, give alms. Because even if you think that it's worthless, even if you think it's meaningless, your misgivings don't matter as much as your good deeds do matter to God and to the people around you. and to your truest self. It might not turn the tide. You might never know if anyone's life is changed. You may never know if someone would have died of thirst or unhealed wounds or exposure to the elements or starvation or any other iteration of poverty and misery, but that is not for you and me to know. All that is before you is a single choice. You can choose every time. Give alms or not. Know that when you are saying that you will give, it means that you give hope to others and you breathe in contentment in the world's gifts as they are. And you put your trust in the one who is pleased to give you an entire kingdom from above. To give alms is to nudge your heart a little closer to God's, a little higher toward heaven. That's what to give alms is. And to withhold alms, to close your eyes to the needs of the world around you, to leave the sick and suffering to make their own way through the world alone, is to declare with your actions that your sense of control, your strivings and pursuits, your tightly held prejudices and plans, your hostilities and grudges, your iniquities and conflicts, your very own hell of your own choosing, matters more than the heaven we are all offered from God our Creator. And your obsession with control will kill you, the truest, deepest version of you, unless you listen to the words of Christ and let it go. One day at a time, $1 at a time, one effort at a time, one possession at a time by giving alms. Alms to those around you who are in need, those around you who are in need of a neighbor who is kind, in need of a stranger who is generous, in need of a God who speaks gently to us and calls us all members of the Lord's little flock, and who restores us all to fullness and who brings us all into a kingdom of love and light. May we each receive that kingdom this day, and may the world be restored from its disarray. Would you take your part and give alms? I pray you will. Amen.